Judith, you really are kind of Australian aardvarks, aren't you? I mean, we're going back a long time here. And yet, remarkably, the four originals are back together. Who pulled off this stupendous coup?
Well, I think probably all of us had in mind that the 25-year mark was coming up since we'd all sung together. And in fact, we'd never even been in the same room together. And I'd had a car accident, and it made me realise we were all pretty fragile human beings. And in addition to that, the fans were always asking, would there ever be another opportunity to sort of see us on stage? So one way or another, we got together for a meal and had a very nice chat. And a couple of months after that, we had some talks about some concerts. And so this was actually the beginning of 1992, amazingly enough. So it's through our manager, John Kovac, that finally the whole thing's been brought together.
Athol, guy, you play bass. Was it the last thing on your mind when they came to you and said, do you want to go one more time?
It was a lovely surprise to us all in many senses that it happened so naturally, and that the 25th anniversary of our last concert came up, and I had to go and scramble out and find another bass, which wasn't too hard really. And it was marvellous to get together when we first started playing after that time apart. I guess we wondered whether it would all happen again, you know, a little bit of magic that sort of made us what we were in the 60s, and it was great. It all happened when we opened our mouths. Beautiful.
Bruce, was there any fragility in any of the relationships between all four of you? Did anybody have to stop and pause and say, I didn't get on so well with...
We all had our moments. We were just talking about it the other day. We're all very, very different people, different personalities. We're all pretty strong-willed, and we've had our democratic arguments about songs and stuff like that. But on a personal level, no, not really. It's pretty much a family atmosphere, and that's the thing we enjoy about this. It's really is, well, I think it is anyway, don't you?
Yeah.
Brother, sister, sort of, yeah.
Well, that's good.
And Keith, did you all stay in touch over the 25 years? I mean, reasonably constantly?
Well, no, it wasn't all that constant, actually, Shay. Athol, Bruce and I kept in touch for one reason or another over the period, but Judith was all over the world, and so we found it a little bit difficult to track her down from time to time, but she was enjoying a very interesting and successful solo career, and we were, I guess, we were together in touch with each other because we happened to be in the same country together.
Yeah. Now, Judith, I have to go back and rehash a bit of the past, because you came on you joined these guys and came on a cruise ship to Britain. You were supposed to go back on the next cruise ship, and you didn't.
Yes, big decision for us all, actually. We came here literally as tourists, as so many young people do, or did in those days particularly, and we'd worked our passage on the boat, literally. Excuse me. So we arrived in London, and we had sent some stuff ahead to an agent there to see if he could get us a little bit of work while we were here for the 10 weeks. And instead of just a little bit of work, he found he could get volumes of work, and we were working in variety theatre, television, quite a lot of television, actually with an Irish singer, with Ronnie Carroll, quite a lot of our work. And then, of course, we met up with Tom Springfield, who wrote our major hit, I'll Never Find Another You.
Which went to #1, didn't it?
It did, all around the world, actually, yes.
Yeah.
And he produced our record as well.
Were you a fairly naive bunch of Aussies when you arrived?
Oh, yeah,
in
a sense, yeah. I guess, you know, when you leave a country like Australia to set out to see the world, you know, you're really sort of pretty bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. But the good thing about it is ready for anything. And it's just as well we were, because that's what happened to us.
Yeah.
Everything and anything.
I think, Bruce, within a couple of weeks you were on the Palladium, were you?
Wasn't on the Palladium quite as quickly, but we were certainly on television very, very quickly on that particular series with Ronnie Carroll, a 13-week series that exposed us constantly every week to millions of people. Consequently, I think that kind of broke us more than anything when the record, first one, came out and started to be heard. They knew what we looked like and, you know, what we sounded like.
Yeah. Palladium was about 6 weeks, though.
Was it? Was it
yeah.
6 weeks?
Yeah, within 6 weeks. We supported Buddy Ebsen, who was the Beverly Hillbillies.
What did he do? Did he do a Yeehaw song or something?
Buddy Ebsen was a great dancer.
A dancer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think he did. I can't remember what he did on the show, but it would have been that something bluegrass style.
He did a Gene Kelly impersonation.
Keith, can you remember the sensation of kind of realising that you'd cracked this thing, that it was all there for the taking?
When our record hit, you mean? Oh, it really caught us a bit by surprise, I think, because your question before about a little bit of naivety. Well, we were a bit sort of down-homey, and of course to suddenly get swept up in the business, and we weren't really a pop group, but there we were alongside or ahead of or behind, whatever it was, various groups that we thought were pop groups, and we had Tom Jones charging up behind us, and we just displaced the Kinks, I think, with I'll Never Find Another You, and it was fascinating for us.
Yeah, and then you have A World of Our Own, and then the Carnival is over, kicked the Rolling Stones off the top spot. I mean, again, did you have the real sense of what you were doing, that you were creating a bit of history here?
I don't think we had a true perspective of what was really happening. We certainly knew we were creating a bit of mileage for Australia. We were told that we were the first Australian group to really crack it like that. But I don't think that we really saw ourselves at the same level of stardom that, say, the Rolling Stones were, and yet we truly must have been.
The NME All-Star Show.
Oh yes, never forget that.
And you're on stage with the Rolling Stones and the Who and people. Yeah. Did they consider you were kind of soft and folky and mushy?
Oh, well, they probably did, but they never sort of said it in an offensive way. No. Otherwise, they'd have got punch up track. No, they wouldn't. We had a great camaraderie in those days with all the groups, and the Hollies and Dave D, Dozy, Beaky, Mick and Titch and all those others. I got that out of it. It was just everyone got on so well. I mean, it was really quite a culture in its own right. Without being able to define it too much. It was just great fun.
And what about all this royal stuff, Keith? I mean, you were doing Royal Variety Command stuff, and you were coming from the Principality of Australia, part of the Dominion.
Yes.
Was this a real big buzz to meet the Queen and stuff like that?
Yes, it was. We met the Queen Mother, and it turns out that we were one of her favourite groups, and I guess that was a real blast. We only ever did the one, actually, and I don't know why that was.
Well, we met, Prime Ministers, of course, too, in Australia, which was a big honour for us.
Yeah.
We were made Australians of the Year, actually, at the end of for the year of 1967, which was a big thrill.
Yeah. Of all of the songs, Morningtown Ride came about next in the chronology, didn't it? And
when was Morningtown Ride? I'll Never Find Another You, World of Our Own, Carnival was over.
Yeah.
Then the Christmas after, 66,
Yeah.
the Morningtown Ride, a Malvina Reynolds song, which we've been singing for quite a long time.
And that has kind of gone into folklore all around the world, hasn't it, really?
Yeah, it's taught in schools, it's on the agenda. It really is a real benchmark, and there aren't too many people that we played before who don't sing every word of it with us very loudly.
Somewhere there is sunshine, somewhere there is rain, somewhere there is morning now, many miles away. Rock and roll and ride, all along the bay, all bound for morning town, many miles